Today, December the 28th, 2022, is a continuation of the Parāyana Sutta. In the previous talk, it has been explained that Vivecca Pamada Nataka Sati. Beings do not glow, beings do not shine with virtue because of Vivecca, stinginess, jealousy, and Pamada, heedlessness. Explaining about Pamada, 3 levels of Pamada have been explained: gross form of Pamada, medium form of Pamada, and refined form of Pamada. Refined form of Pamada is when one does wholesomeness, one doesn't do it respectfully, meticulously, thoroughly. One doesn't do it continuously, but breaks and gaps in between, doing it in a stop and go manner. In the intensive meditation practice, yogis should take care not to let this refined form of pamada from arising. As a yogi in an intensive meditation practice, one should always be mindful from the moment one wakes up until one falls asleep. During the whole day, whatever the daily activity, walking meditation, sitting meditation, yogis should make the effort to be able to note present arising object, moment by moment, one after another, noting rising, falling, sitting, touching as the primary object. Also, whatever arises, thinking, imagination, one must be mindful. Whatever pleasant, unpleasant feelings and sensation arise, whether in the mind or in the body, one should be mindful. Other general objects such as the anger, impatience, sleepiness. If these objects arise, that comes obvious, one should be mindful of them in the way they are. And Ajita continued to ask questions. Kesa bilepanam brusi, meaning, what is the abilepana, the bird slime? And Buddha replied, Japa bilepanam brusi. Abilepana is the bird slime, but here it is said as monkey slime. When hunters want to trap monkeys, abilepana is the kind of monkey slime, some substance that is sticky. So in order to trap the monkey, the hunter puts on this monkey slime, and when the monkey sees this, try to be inquisitive, trying to find out what it is, it touches the monkey slime and the hand sticks to it. And in the hope to release the hand, the monkey also put another hand on it. Both the hands are stuck and trying to free itself from it, he will try to touch it with his feet. All the feet will be trapped, stick to the monkey slime, and also with the head. So in this way, the monkey gets sticks to the monkey slime. So this example of monkey slime has been used in this question. Yeah, Japa Pilepanam Brumi, Buddha answered. Japa is tanha, craving. For example, if a person likes something, his or her craving make the person say, oh, this is so good, I like it. If it is kind of food or something, oh, I love it, so great, so tasty. In this way, his or her craving make the person to say such comments, and thus this tanha craving is called japa. So tanha, which is called japa, is like a monkey slime. So this tanha, because of the tanha, beings stick to the visible objects, sound, smell, taste, touch. So in this way, beings are attached to such pleasant objects to be seen, to be heard, to be tasted, to be touched, to be smelled, and so on, because of the tanha craving. So one keeps on liking, being attached, sticking onto the beautiful scenery or beautiful sight, beautiful appearance. One craves for more and more. One cannot be satisfied, but crave for even more. The same with the sound. If there is some sound that is pleasant, one is attached in it, craving for more and more. So that's why tanha japa is like a monkey slime, as it keeps the being stick to these objects. So it is important to remove this tanha craving. In the Four Noble Truths, tanha craving is the origin of suffering. So long as there is tanha, the origin of truth of suffering, the sufferings will continue. So that's why one has to remove tanha craving. In the intensive meditation practice, yogis are asked to be mindful of whatever object that arises, so that one will not be attached with what one sees, hears, smells, tastes, touch, or know. In the Sutta meditation, the noting mind should be aimed and directed onto the primary object, rising and falling of the abdomen, or sitting and touching. One should aim the noting mind onto the object, put effort so that noting mind reaches the object. In this way, noting the object with aim and effort, when the mindfulness is on the object, concurrent with the object, of meditation, thoughts do not have chance to arise. But if one is not mindful, thoughts easily arise. And if there are essential thoughts, then going into the detail, greed arises. So in this way, this tanha arises if one is mindful of the thought that is arising. So that's why as soon as the thought arises, do not go into detail what the thought is about. Thought is just a thought. Note it, thinking immediately. Usually, if one notes it as thinking, usually the thought goes away and is able to go back to rising, falling. If not, if the yogi is not able to note the thought as soon as it arises, yogi gets carried away by the thought. And if there are pleasant thoughts, thinking about the good things that they have seen in the past, good things that they had heard in the past, smelled in the past, if they are coming to think of their favorite things, if one is carried away by such kind of thoughts, this tanha craving arises. Even though the yogi is sitting, carried away by these pleasant thoughts, tanha arises. In order not to let it happen, as soon as the thought arises, note it right away as thinking. So in this way, by being mindful, one can prevent tanha from arising. And if it arises, one should note it right away. If you notice tanha arising, then you can note it as wanting, attach, and so on, to remove it. So in this way, one can prevent tanha from arising by being mindful. And if it arises, one should remove it by being mindful. In this way, one can remove this tanha momentarily. So this samudaya satya, the truth of origin of suffering, is removed momentarily through this practice of satipatthana. And Ajita asks, Kensu masa mahabhaya, meaning, what is the great danger? And Buddha answered, Dukkha masa mahabhaya, suffering is great danger. So suffering such as sickness, being injured, whatever the mental, physical suffering. And in the samsara, the suffering such as rebirth, old age, disease, death, sorrow, lamentation, all of these sufferings are great danger. And the most frightening danger is falling into the abhaya. So these are the frightening danger. Nobody likes suffering. So in order to end the suffering, one should practice satipatthana meditation. By practicing satipatthana meditation, such as removing tanha craving, which is the origin of suffering, removing the origin of suffering, the first sufferings will come to an end. So in order to end the suffering, yogis should remove tanha craving moment by moment by being mindful of the presently arising object. And Ajita continued to ask, Savanti Sapati Sota Sotanam Nivaranam Sotanam Gain Nivaranam Sotanam Samvaram Bruhi Kena Sota Pidiyare. What Ajita say is that in the world, everywhere there are stream of currents flowing everywhere. And Ajita asks, with what will these stream of currents be prevented? And with what this stream of currents could be cut? So this was the question. Jani Sotani Lokasmin. In the world, everywhere there are stream of currents. Sati Desan Nivaranam. Sati, mindfulness, is to prevent this stream of current. So everywhere there are stream of currents, of defilements flowing everywhere. Sati Desa Nivarana, meaning in order to prevent the stream of currents of defilements, one should prevent with sati, mindfulness. Sotana Savaram Brumi Panya Yete Pidiyare, meaning in order to prevent these streams of currents, sati, to prevent, and to cut this stream of currents, it is panya, knowledge, to cut this stream of currents. So in the beings, whenever beings see something, defilement stream of current flows as if it is something that is pleasant, greed arises based on what has been seen, not being mindful. And if one sees unpleasant things, anger arises on what has been seen if one is not mindful. Or even if greed or anger doesn't arise, but not being mindful, moha, delusion, arises. So in this way, not being mindful, greed, anger, delusion flows in the person who is not mindful. So these defilements, currents, keep on flowing if there is no mindfulness. Usually, in order to cultivate wholesome mind, one needs to make the effort to cultivate wholesome mind, to cultivate sati, samadhi, and so on. But in order for the defilements to arise, it doesn't take any effort for the defilements to arise. At the moment one is not mindful, these defilements arise automatically, flowing just like a stream of current. So in order to prevent the stream of current of defilements, one should be mindful. In the sitting meditation, noting, rising, falling. In noting, rising, falling, or sitting, touching, one should note in such a way so that the mind is concurrent with the object. So in order to do so, one should aim and direct the noting mind onto the object. One should make the effort so that the noting mind falls on the object. So in this way, noting the object, such as rising, falling, sitting, touching, when the mind is fully on the object, when the noting mind is concurrent on the object, at that very moment, defilements have no chance to arise. And in order to do so, this effort is the samavayama, right effort. The mindfulness concurrent with the object, sticking onto the object, it is samasati, right mindfulness. When the mind falls calm, collected on the object, it is sama samadhi, right concentration. At that very moment, viriya, sati, samadhi are present. At that moment, defilements have no chance to arise. Viriya, having viriya effort, the defilements such as laziness, sleepiness cannot arise. Sati, mindfulness, it is the protection. It protects the mind so that defilements cannot enter the mind. So sati is said as rakha varana guti. Rakha means protection. Avarana means sati, mindfulness, blocks so that the defilements cannot enter the mind. The defilements are being blocked. Having this protection of sati, mindfulness, the mind is safe and secure away from defilements, and thus there is goti, safety, security, having mindfulness, and muti, the mind is free from defilement. At that very moment, viriya, sati, samadhi are present. Having sati, mindfulness as the protection, the mind is safe and secure that this defilement stream of current are prevented from flowing. And having samadhi, there is not agitation there is no agitation with defilements. So in this way, in order to prevent the stream of current, there should be mindfulness, sati. And even though we say we should have sati, there also includes viriya, sati, samadhi, which is samadhi khanda, concentration group. So in this way, having samadhi khanda, the obsessive defilements that can arise in the mind have been prevented from arising. The sila khanda, having taken morality precepts, one has this volition to refrain from wrongdoings. In this way, the practice of morality can overcome gross defilements. So through the practice of morality, having samma kamanda, right action, samma vacha, right speech, samma ajiva, right livelihood. These are the sila khanda, the sila group, which can overcome gross form of defilements as one refrains from transgression, into physical and verbal misconduct. In this way, the gross form of defilements, transgressive defilements that arise in the body and speech has been prevented through the practice of morality. So there is Samma Kammanta, Samma Vaca, Samma Ajiva. So in this way, the Sila group and Samadhi group, the Viriya Sati Samadhi can overcome or surface defilement that can arise in the mind. But in order to overcome latent dormant defilements, anusaya kilesa, one should cultivate knowledge. And just in the answer, Panya yete pidi yare, in order to cut the defilement stream of current, one should cultivate knowledge. Samma Sankappa, the mind being directed, aimed onto the object. Samma Ditti, right view, discerning the nature, the characteristic, nama rupa, cause and effect, impermanent suffering and non-self. So in this way, knowledge, panya, this panya khanda, the two of the panya khanda, Samma Sankappa, Samma Ditti, having this panya khanda, one can remove latent, dormant defilements momentarily. Yogis, when noting rising, falling, or sitting, touching, or whatever object that arises, noting the object, having sati, samadhi, having viriya, sati, samadhi, continuously noting one after another continuously. When sati and samadhi, mindfulness and concentration, are continuous and strong, yogi discerns the nature, the characteristic of the object that has been noted. For example, when noting rising, one notices stiffness, tension. Noting falling, one notices movement, relaxation. Noting sitting, one notices stiffness, hardness. Noting touching, yogi notices pressure, warmth, heat. In this way, yogi comes to know the nature, the characteristic of the object that has been noted. Knowledge arises, discerning the nature of the paramattha in the object. Yogi is noting. In this way, knowledge arises. And as the yogi practice onwards, yogi discern distinctly between mind and matter. When noting rising, yogi notices that there is the stiffness, tension, and the mind that notes it. When noting lifting, during the walking meditation, when noting lifting, yogi notices lightness and the noting mind that notes it as lifting. So in this way, yogi discerns mind and matter. And as the yogi continues to note, yogi also come to see cause and effect. Noting before one sit, yogi notes the intention, wanting to sit. And the actual sitting slowly, mindfully, inch by inch, paying attention to the whole body sitting, discerning heaviness, stiff, tense. And at the moment of noting the sitting down process, yogi comes to know that The intention to sit is the cause. The actual sitting down, body getting heavier, stiff and tense, it is the effect. In this way, yogi notices and discerns cause and effect. And as the yogi continues to practice, when sati and samadhi are continuous and strong, yogi also come to notice that whatever has been noted is not permanent. For example, when noting pain, at first, yogi thought it is just pain in the leg. It is so painful. My leg is painful. But when being asked to note the pain, pinpointing about 3 centimeters, pinpointing where the pain is most obvious, noting it with effort, yogi see that when noting pain, there is heat pain, stiff pain, and the noting mind that knows it. There is no other thing. There is stiff and heat, and the noting mind that knows it, and it doesn't stay the same. The heat pain arise, pass away. Another heat pain arise, pass away. There is no form or shape. There is no leg. What is really there is the stiffness and the noting mind that knows it. And this stiffness doesn't stay the same. It arises, pass away. Another stiffness arise, pass away. Another stiffness arise, pass away. At that stage, yogi also comes to know the impermanence. When the yogi comes to know the impermanence, it is the start of vipassana knowledge. The beginning to knowledge is discerning mind and matter, cause and effect. It is just the foundation, the basic, but only when the yogi sees the arising and passing away, yogi cultivates vipassana knowledge. It is panya. So at the moment, yogi is discerning by being mindful. At that moment, yogi cultivates the panya, and this panya cuts the defilement stream of current. So through this satipatthana practice, having sati, mindfulness, one prevents the defilement current from arising, and cultivating knowledge, discerning the nature, the characteristic, discerning mind and matter, cause and effect, impermanence, cultivating knowledge, the defilement stream of current has been cut momentarily. At the moment, one is discerning, cultivating knowledge, but it is momentary. If there is lack of mindfulness, if the yogi loses mindfulness, then this stream of current will continue to flow. So by discerning, by being mindful, one cuts the stream of defilements momentarily. So in this way, one has to cultivate knowledge moment by moment, one after another, so that one will be cutting the stream of current momentarily. But when knowledge develops stage by stage, finally, when one realizes Nibbana by attaining first path knowledge, one cuts the defilement current so that defilements can no longer make the person to reborn in lower existences. and second path knowledge, third path knowledge, finally attaining the fourth path knowledge, all the defilement currents will totally be cut. So time is up. May you all be able to practice smoothly so as to have mindfulness to prevent the defilement current from arising and cultivate knowledge to cut the defilement currents momentarily until one attains at least the first path knowledge in this very life. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.